In a world where nostalgia and wonder abound, folks flock together admiring the mighty, the marvelous, the super. Have you pondered how to begin your wanderings of the nerd realms? Well, hot dame! Welcome to the Dame Patrol. Your vigilant Mrs. 3 are here delivering the news, cues, and reviews from across the geek world. Get a move on, gals. Your vigil has begun.
Happy, merry, holly jolly seasons greetings here. We are the Dame Patrol, as Tamara said, and we are so excited to have you down for this episode. I'm Amy, and to my right is
Stephanie, and across from me is
Erminia, but just for you guys can call me Minnie.
Yeah, and guys, we have such an exciting episode because it is our first annual. I want to just ching, 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 ching,
deck the halls with dames.
So good. Yes, it is our first annual Deck the Halls with the Dames episode, brought to you in part by our lovely sponsor, our Home Away from Home, our Dame Den, with our crazy Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
At 1120 Fulton Avenue, Suite K.
Sweet K.
Empire's Comics Vault. And, oh my gosh, I'm just really excited for this episode. I can't kind of handle it. So, should we just launch straight into this puppy? Because
we should launch into this puppy as if there were 8 tiny reindeer pulling us along. We should launch into it.
We have a sleigh.
We do have a sleigh.
Why are the reindeer tiny?
Because they have to fuse together to make 4 reindeer.
Okay, touche. I'm solid with that. All right, so for this episode, we decided we were going to talk about some of our holiday traditions, what we like to do, what we like to watch, and what we think you should probably get in the clutch for your nerd amigos / loved ones. Also, we have a very special airing of the grievances at the end of our episode. Yep. Stay tuned for that yummy, yummy deliciousness. All right, so Stephanie, do you want to start us off? I know Minnie is super duper excited. She just straight up flipped her notebook like, let's me talk.
I mean, it was very official, so I think I'm going to pass this to Miss Minnie across from me.
Oh, man. Okay. So where exactly do we want to start? Do we want to start with what we do, what we watch?
I think we should do that.
What we watch?
Let's do that.
Let's do that? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we'll go around in a quick round table, but my first, number one, that I have to watch in order for it to feel like the holidays for me, minus all of the Rankin Bass stuff, because it's the Rankin Bass stuff and it's amazing. It'll never age badly, I'm sure. But I have to watch the Hey Arnold Christmas special. Mm-hmm. Specifically, the first Hey Arnold Christmas special.
The one where it's the original cast for
the one where it's the original cast, and when Arnold and all of his grandparents and everybody that's in the house pull Secret Santas, and he pulls Mr. Huynh. And at this point, no one knows Mr. Huynh yet. No one knows anything about him other than he's, the Korean man that lives there, and he's kind of nice. And he finally gets to know him, and he learns about his daughter and about how he lived through the Korean War and how his daughter was the only thing he had there, and he was able to get soldiers to take his daughter from there so he can get himself home. But it took him like 20 years to get out of Korea. And his daughter had been in their town, and that's why he moved to their town. So Arnold, being the football-headed awesome that he is, he tries to find his daughter. And thanks to some side meddling from Helga, he's able to, and it always makes me cry so hard. And that's what the Festivus is to me.
Holy snot, I can't follow that. Can you follow that? I mean, I feel kind of like, hey, things I watch versus like... I think that trumps the Hey Arnold Carmen episode where they performed the opera Carmen.
That one is definitely at least number 2 or 3 because it definitely introduced me to like opera.
Yeah.
Touche.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, my gosh. I don't have something that's that emotional, I suppose, but we'll just switch gears on here, and I will get us in. So one of the things I remember watching since I was a little tot was every year I wanted to watch the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh,
and I had that on VHS, and then just like bring it up, toddle it in, maybe get my finger stuck in the VHS thing, and I just loved it. I loved that it was like Gonzo and Rizzo were the narrators, and then also the Father Christmas. The Ghost of Christmas Present. That puppet is like so big and wonderful, and the music, and also has like my favorite joke that I used to repeat to every adult who I'm sure got.
No, I need to hear it now.
I need to
hear it now. I need jokes. I can't.
It was like in the trailer. It's like, Mr. Scrooge, we're freezing, and he's like, how would you like to be unemployed? And suddenly they're in hula skirts and like, on an island in the... So stupid, but I loved it. yeah,
good,
but I
though.
think it's like aged well with the Jim Henson Company. The puppetry stands up, the music's great, and it's good. So, Amy, I'm gonna pass to you. Just fastball special.
Now I'm wondering if so that's still better than the Otter Jug Band Christmas special.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's a good pull.
That's a deep pool.
That's a deep pool.
I
The
can swim
otter
in that
pool.
pool. I swim very quickly in that pool with the otters. That's a different one. Oh my gosh. Oh man. That's terrible. Now I'm thinking of the size comparison for the Ghost of Christmas Present versus Sweet Pea because I like those two and they're ridiculous. So I actually do something kind of entertaining. Everybody knows White Christmas. And I've seen White Christmas a million times, but for the holidays, and I only watch it on the holidays, which is ridiculous, I watch Holiday Inn.
Yes.
So that is, if
The
you do
OG.
not, the OG. It is the mama of White Christmas. The entire concept is, PBS has the revival for the Broadway revival on Masterpiece. You can watch it. So it's like the 2 hours. You watch Corbin Bleu. Heaven help us, he actually can still dance. Yay! And you get to watch Holiday Inn. So the concept is, the original movie is Bing Crosby. It has a very young Joel Grey. Oh gosh, I could almost go musicals on this. Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire. They work in show business together. They have a love interest. The love interest decides that she doesn't want to go with Bing Crosby and move to a farm in Connecticut. And he decides he's going to go there. He works for about a year. He realizes, holy crud, this is really hard and I can't do this. I'm not making enough money. And he's like, I'm really good at show business. He goes back and then decides, you know what? I'm going to turn my farm into an inn. And we're only going to be open on holidays. And it's not the weird, obscure holidays, but we get like Abraham Lincoln's birthday, which is, I have the original cut. So we have Bing Crosby in blackface. You never want to see it. No. Never. But it's a really entertaining song about being freed by Abraham. Oh gosh. Okay. Anyway, so he finds the love of his life. He employs them. You get Fred Astaire, who does a couple of songs drunk. There's some fun facts in there for movie people. He took a shot for every take and he did 7 takes before he did the numbers right in 3 different spaces and it was straight through. Yes. It was so awesome. So, of course, it ends with White Christmas. We hit Christmas like 3 times, including New Year's. It's one of my favorite things. I consistently do it every single year, and I don't stop till I get enough. Minnie.
Oh man. Okay. Well, on that lovely holiday steamboat.
Holiday.
I'm gonna go to another holiday actually. So I grew up in their lovely '90s era when we had the best cartoons.
Yeah.
Throwing that gauntlet down there. But we had the best cartoons. It's true. But the best cartoons, and I think another really good cartoon that was very, very formative, at least I think for me, was the Rugrats Hanukkah special.
Aww.
Specifically the one where the kids go to the synagogue for the first time, and there's Uncle Boris being all like old, crazy Grandpa Boris, and he's trying to settle a bit about how the first Hanukkah miracle happened. And as he's telling the kids this story, the kids are like reenacting it. And it's so wholesome and good. And it was the first time that I had seen a different holiday other than Christmas that I celebrated. Mm-hmm. And I knew about Judaism because I went to a private school, so we knew there were Jewish people. But
Jewish people adjacent.
Jewish people adjacent. And I never really understood it. And then the Rugrats kind of wrapped it up in like a good way and gave some cool representation to things that were not my own. And they also dealt with Kwanzaa as well in that same episode.
They did, that's right.
So it's 90s cartoons, you guys.
I believe firmly in the glory of the 90s cartoon. Mm-hmm. I can't not. Oh, man. Now I want latkes, but
latkes.
Hanukkah's over. Hanukkah's over. I don't get any more socks. Okay.
Right. So if we're going to talk animated holiday specials, I'm going to talk about a really nerdy one. And I'm going to talk about the Justice League Christmas special.
Wait, is that the Man Who Has Everything episode?
No. So the Justice League Christmas special is the one where it's separated into 3 parts. So you have the Flash, who's trying to get the must-have toy of the season for these kids in the orphanage.
It's not a Tickle Me Elmo, is it?
It's like it's DJ Quack Quack or something like that. It's stupid.
It's a callback to
and then you have Superman brings home John Jones to celebrate his very first Christmas on Earth back to Kansas and meet his parents, and it's really sweet. And then the other one is Shaira and John just being like, what do you do to celebrate Christmas, or not Christmas, holiday, when you're happy? What do you do? So she takes them to a bar, and they get into a bar fight, and it's just really cute. It's like their first date.
That's kind of adorable.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it just makes me really happy, and it's really sweet, and it's just one of those things I love watching every year.
Aww.
Yeah.
You're like, I have a 3-parter.
Yeah.
We're just gonna delve into this movie. Beautiful. Sit with me, friends. Sit with me.
Amy, what's your next one?
So this one's actually pretty recent because I abstained from this for a so it's Olaf's Frozen Adventure. It's gonna sound ridiculous. I'm not a big, I know, shh, I just like Josh Gad.
Okay,
Minnie,
that's fair.
you're making so
That's
many
okay.
faces, and
okay.
I feel like just the miasma is permeating, trying to strangle me. Like it's one of those little like.
As a former member of the cast from Dalt Wisney, I got a lot of that. Got a lot of the Olaf. I lived through that.
Well, the funny thing is, I never watched it.
Okay.
I didn't watch it when it was attached to whatever it was originally attached to.
Coco.
Yeah, it wasn't attached to Coco when I saw Coco.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah,
pulled it.
they pulled it.
They pulled it. But so I didn't really like. I like the original story for Frozen. We could start talking about the musical aspects of why the people that wrote Frozen were great people and blah blah blah, and we have great voiceover talent, blah blah blah. Mostly Josh Gad, blah blah blah. I love you, Idina Menzel, hearts for days. But so I watched it this year,
Okay.
and basically the opening line from our podcast is literally the opening line from Olaf's song when he goes trying to find traditions, and I like it so much that I can sit through it more than once. So I have an opportunity. I will see in about 3 years. You come back for our 3rd annual. And if I'm like, guys, I got to nix this off my list. Return to the year without Santa Claus. Hit me up with some of that silver and gold. And we will do this. But currently, Josh Gad is still my favorite snowman. Just for that section. And no, I don't want to build a snowman.
Okay.
I'm not riding my bike around the hall. And yeah, I do talk to pictures on the wall. Minnie!
Still trying to get over that.
This is why we have 3 people, because we can each be like different aspects and different things are
I
in
can
our
be shadow
wheelhouse.
choked by my neighbor. My neighbor next to me is like, murder.
I will say for a lot of Dalt Wisney cast members,
It's murder.
no, it's PTSD. It's PTSD from when Frozen was big, because so many lotteries, so many opportunity drawings for those toys, so many flashbacks. Anyway, going into the
chilly.
Walt Disney of it all, I think I've gone through like 3 different things for my number 3, but I will mention Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas.
Yes, much better
Not
than the
Mickey's
first one.
Once. Mickey's Once was good, but it's very traditional, and it's very the retells of what we've seen time and time again, which is a good entry for a lot of people. But I like specifically Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas because it opens it up. You see a lot of the characters flexing. You get some really cool jokes, like Pluto thinking that he ruined Christmas and Mickey yelling at him that you ruined Christmas in his mind, obviously. But my favorite thing in there is something that I, now as an adult, reflect on. It's the Max and Goofy short.
Yeah.
The musical one where Max is no longer dating Roxanne, but he's coming home with this girl who he thinks is the one, and he's bringing her home for Christmas, and he just wants his dad to not be goofy. He wants his dad to make him look good, to make her think that he's the best, so she would really stick with him for a long time. And it's all a musical number, and it's so well done. And now as an adult, wanting to find that special person for me, it's such a cool dynamic. And it's so cool that he loves his dad, but he's also like insecure and wants to show off to his like this girl, but this girl also really likes his dad, and it's so many levels of growth there, and I appreciate it more as an adult. I love it as a kid because it was all to song, but make me look good. It's a good Christmas lesson.
Mm-hmm. All the feels from you tonight.
Sorry.
No wonder you're trying to hurt me because of Olaf.
It's because I'm a December baby.
It's true.
Me and Jesus are like this.
Stephanie, I don't know. Can we?
Well,
Musical numbers and being ashamed of Goofy.
I don't have a musical number for my last one. I'm gonna go with if you have Hulu, there is a show on there called Dimension 404.
04.
It was done by Jimmy Wong, who you'll know from like doing a lot of special effects. I think he did a Portal, like kind of portal gun short.
He did
Video Game High
School.
So he teamed up with Hulu to do like a short sci-fi anthology series, and there's a Christmas episode where it stars Constance Wu, who you'll know from Crazy Rich Asians and Fresh Off the Boat, and she plays this army psychologist who's trying to go home for the holidays, and then she gets a call from like the Secret Service to be like, actually, we're going to need you to skip holidays and come and deal with this problem. And I don't want to spoil too much, but she gets like pulled to the Antarctic. She's talking to this giant supercomputer and basically dealing with like her own personal like struggles and this computer's personal struggles, and it's really beautiful and well shot, and it's just perfect. I love it.
No, I'm really
It's
intrigued.
one of my new holiday traditions.
Oh my gosh, now I'm actually really intrigued because usually I'm like, I don't want no horror on
it's not
anthologies. I almost said anthropologies.
It's more like it's a sci-fi anthology, so it's not a horror one, and it's totally Christmas. It's almost like, what if Santa was real just for a day, sort of thing is tied into it, and it's really beautiful.
I'm totally down for that, dude. So it's Dimension 404
Dimension 404 on Hulu.
I like that there's hand gestures that you will never see.
Santa.
Secret.
Being
So Santa real for a day, and like we're gonna be hush. I believe in it still. My last pick is actually something that comes from the 90s, so I'm honoring you. Tim the Toolman Taylor, long before he was Buzz Lightyear for me, the Santa Claus. The original, the one that nobody still shows. I'm sorry, Martin Short, I appreciate you in Santa Claus 3, but I don't need any of that. I need Steve Allen as Scott Calvin. Tim, I said Steve Allen, didn't I?
Yeah, I was like, that didn't sound
Because
correct.
I said Scott Calvin in my head, and I said Steve
To
Allen.
infinity and your mom. That's Steve Allen.
Sorry, Tim Allen. I love you. Okay, Tim Allen. I need him as Scott Calvin. I need him as the defunct toy maker who just hates his job. I need a terrible 90s like furniture that was still in there as that working through the divorce, and his son still believes. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but he was in Life with Mikey. He was the guy in Numbers. Really big nose.
The guy who was the head elf.
The head elf, Bernard.
Bernard.
I need all of that, because there is nothing that says more about the innocence of like the power of your children to help you believe and to give you the support. Also, can we talk about how fantastic that costume was?
So good. And flame resistant.
It always, even for me, as many times as I've watched it, and I continually watch it at least once a year, the Denny's joke, where some waitress gave you pajamas, like that entire run. The cocoa is shaken, not stirred. The way that the North Pole is designed, it makes me, it harkens back to, Hook. It has some of the same dynamic of it, and it makes me so happy.
Well, and the whole seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. Like, that's always something that is fantastic with that movie. I always loved that.
Yeah. The one that came number 2, the Santa Claus 2, the Mrs. Claus was fun because we got to see all the other supernatural beings, including the Molinator. But the first one just has such it's a soft spot for me, so I can't not watch it, especially for, Tim Allen and David Krumholtz, if I pronounce his name right. I keep seeing him in Life with Mikey in my head. They're just so good. With that being said, I think we probably have to talk about our little traditions. I know we don't have a whole bunch of them, but I think personally for me, I will, when I lived in Alaska, I'll do this, I'll stroke my imaginary Gandalf beard and talk very quickly. We used to go 20 minutes outside of town, middle of the night, and have hot cocoa, and we would sit in the, bundle up, you wear lots of clothes, bundle up, and we would watch the Northern Lights. I know, I just also broke, like I had puberty there for a second because I remembered it so fondly.
Is it actual Northern Lights, or is it like broken bottle caps that a wolf puts in front of flashlight.
No, that actually is not a bad Balto reference ever.
Thank you.
But it was actually the real thing. It was really cool. I did it for 9 years. And so in coming back to California, I'm going back to Cali. Thank you. Cali. We started doing a tradition of turning on video of the Northern Lights on the TV while we would decorate the Christmas tree. So it harkens back a little bit to it, but it's not too much. So what about you guys? I think we kind of all decorate trees in various forms.
True. Well, over the past 2 years, one of my new traditions has been making tamales with my significant other and their family. So that's been really nice and just kind of a great family tradition, and you can have something to nibble on afterwards. So it's really just a great bonding opportunity.
Is there a favorite? Because I think we might have to poll this about, we might fight about the better tamales.
Yeah.
I do like the recipe that we use for a chicken tamale. It's very good. Normally I'm kind of a pork tamale kind of girl, but I really do like the chicken tamales that we make.
Okay, I think that was the reprieve because I'm a pork tamale girl. What about you?
I also really dig chicken tamales. I'm more of a lean meat kind of gal. But my crazy Uncle Ben here at the Empire's Comics Vault, he used to order tamales from someone. I don't know if they don't do it anymore or if he just stopped ordering because he wanted to lose a little weight. But loved them tamales, man. But it was like jalapeno. It was like chile rellenos tamales. And those are so good. And I could never crack the code to make those. I don't understand how to do it. So yeah, I'm on board with the chicken train, but I like the chile rellenos one as well.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, so we've got tamales, we've got really weird cocoa/Northern Lights mini.
So with my family, we've always been kind of middle of the road in terms of like money, but I grew up very much. If I wanted something, I would ask, Mommy, can I get that? And, we don't always have the money at the time. And I learned how to budget my money. They would say, no, Mija, we can't get it now. Let's maybe get it later next time we come. And I'd be like, okay. And I kind of grew up with that. And I grew up learning that I can make things on my own.
Ooh.
And so especially around Christmas, the first time that we moved into the house my family is currently living in, we didn't have a lot of money for decorations. But I grew up with my dad who's super nerdy, and my mom's also kind of nerdy, so we had, little knickknacks everywhere. My dad has these Godzillas that he has in our living room, and so we were just trying to, make it more festive in the house, and I had a bunch of craft items. So what I did is I cut up little cloth napkins from the Dollar Tree and got cotton swabs, and I made little Santa hats.
Yes.
For all of the Godzillas. So it's Christmas officially in the house when all of the Godzillas have their little Santa hats on. So there's a big Godzilla and a little Godzilla. And now there's like stormtroopers that also have Santa hats.
Is there a Mecha Godzilla?
There's not a Mecha Godzilla.
We must acquire a Mecha Godzilla.
We must acquire a Mecha Godzilla. My dad can't look at Mecha Godzilla and not start laughing because we like to watch the terrible dubs.
Yes.
And the last Mecha Godzilla terrible dub, when Mecha Godzilla was running out of power, it just said, not enough. So he can't look at the Mechagodzilla without laughing. But that's definitely always been a tradition in my house, is to kind of make your own decorations. So
Could one say that Mechagodzilla with a Christmas hat would just be like, not enough holiday spirit?
I don't know why, but I also really thought you were going to go with like a bender. A bender. Like Santa bender.
Fair enough.
Santa Bender.
Missed that opportunity, I suppose.
Oh my gosh.
So shall we transition into our nerdy holiday gift guide in the clutch?
Well, I know we might need to get somebody's parent a Mecha Godzilla with the Santa hat.
That's true.
Yep.
So that has been acknowledged. Do either of you have something like super? I almost said fetch. Oh my gosh.
Stop trying to make fetch work.
I can't make fetch not happen. It's gonna happen. It's happening now. All right. Do you have any recommendations besides the Mecha Godzilla? I think we already know Mecha Godzilla.
Yep.
I like to recommend usually around holidays. Image Comics likes to put out their big omnibus versions of their their biggest comics, but they're really nice. They have like usually extra stuff in them. Nice. So I like to recommend Lumberjanes Volume 1 of that, because it comes with sketches of like the patches, the alternate covers, some like just behind the scenes from Noelle.
Yes, I'm so on board that choo-choo train.
Yeah, so I recommend that, and it's just a good gift for like the kids in your life, but also like any tweens or just your nerdy adult.
It's friendship to the max, you guys.
Also, if you know anyone that likes the new She-Ra or likes Nimona or likes anything kind of quirky and like that, I think it has a very good like vibe for that person in your life.
Oh yeah, I'm totally on board that Lumberjane train all day. Toot toot. Oh, me. Oh my gosh, I just totally realized I should probably recommend. Well, if you're in the clutch and you are really confused about what to get a nerd in your life, I always recommend going down to your local comic book store. It might be Empire's Comics' fault. It doesn't.
K, cough, cough.
Cough, cough, cough. To get a recommendation from any of your comic book fiends or friends that work behind the counter, but also you can pick up a gift card or some type of gift certificate to do back issues, toys. If you don't know, giving somebody the opportunity to come into a place they love with a little bit of coin saves the day all the time. I know someone's like, it's a cop-out, you didn't think of me, but if you are so perplexed by the choices your nerd brethren / sisterin / otherin make, it is safe, it is reasonable, and it also means they have to connect with somebody in the store. They just can't walk in and be like, that one, mommy. I mean, they could, but it's not, always an option at some things. I mean, Minnie, what do you think?
I think it is definitely a good option. But for me, I'm actually going to go into your games. Somebody who plays games and all that jazz. Because you never know if they're a board game kind of player, if they play Magic the Gathering, or even if they play they're Yu-Gi-Oh! They believe in the heart of the cards. You can get them cool card sleeves. And that's actually good for their decks. It's good even for, people don't think about it, but for board games. If they have like a really favorite board game, those cards see use all the time. So you want to keep those nice and protected, and then you can eat your snacks while you're playing your games, and you don't get the oily residue on your cards so that they can last forever for all of your holiday memories.
Oh,
it's a very good recommendation.
Shoot, I didn't even think about that. Oh my gosh. Do you have anything else, Steph?
Let's see. I would also recommend, so I'm going to continue on my train of being very specific. I'm going to recommend, if you know someone that's maybe likes watching tabletop or likes watching like other people play board games on YouTube, but they're like, oh, these things are so complicated and I need so many people, I'd recommend a game called Love Letters.
And I love Love Letters. It's so
good.
It's so quick too.
Yes, so it's like you just need I think at least 2 or 3 people to play, and it's a quick like 15-minute game. It has there's like enough there's rule cards, and there's enough for each player to have their own rule card in the pack. And it's like just really quick, pick me up. And you can also get like, I think, Adventure Time love letters. So if you know someone that loves that, or Batman love letters, there's just so many different versions. You can just pick whatever version. They're all good, all play the same. And it's just a really great, if someone's wanting to get like, maybe their little nerdlet into board games, it's a very good entryway.
Yeah, I mean, that runs along the same lines as Coup is a great way to do that too. Munchkin in the smaller version, if you have the time, you can build the same way, and that's the abbreviated version of Dungeons and Dragons, but with cards, so you can build it a little bit faster. That's a really great one. That's not going to hurt your pocketbook at all.
Oh yeah, no.
And then if we're talking about me, I always like to get to know my peoples when I'm giving out things for nerds, and of course, as always, Funko Pops have been the big. How many years we going? So many years with Funko Pops. But there's almost they branch out so far now. If somebody likes directors, say someone wants a
Guillermo
del Toro pop, you can find that. Or if someone really loves, say, Arnold, I might know where you could find a Helga. Or if somebody, well, we're not going to talk about the World of Warcraft. That one didn't turn out as well as I hoped.
No.
But they branch and cover so many genres now. So if you have somebody, I'm waiting to hear about the Red Redemption. We're going to get a weird cowboy at some point.
Yeah, there's going to be a weird cowboy pop. Other than McCree.
And not Ash. We'll talk about that later. But if you, did you just pow me?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a great place for you to go, hey, my insert whatever here loves cartoons from the 90s, loves 80s movies, loves horror flicks. Pop has made they love musicians. They pushed out a Rush 3-pack too. You can find these pops fairly easy on the internet, but also a lot of the hobby stores carry them, and it gives you a chance to explore. You might even find something you like and be like, I'm going to buy this for Christmas for myself because I'm really good. But I'm going to pass this to the resident Funko Fiend.
It's true. Funko Fiends for life. NorCal, best Cal. But mine, since you brought up horror, something to kind of alleviate the holidays if you're like a horror fiend at heart, or you just like kind of spooky stories to tell on a campfire, I would recommend, if you have a PS4, it's now super cheap. It's probably $19.99, probably even cheaper right now, Until Dawn. So it is a fantastic game that you can sit down, have one person hold the controller. I recommend whoever can't sit still, that's the best part.
No.
Have one person hold a controller, and you and other people can sit around, watch the screen, and make decisions. And it's basically this take on teens going up to a cabin, and people suddenly start disappearing in the middle of the night. What happened? But it's the 1-year anniversary of two sisters' deaths. Whatever could be happening there on this mountain by themselves.
I'm getting anxious already. Don't do this to me.
But one of my wives, Hayden Panettiere, is in it. So
It's true.
I have many wives. You'll learn all about them.
Shank
Shank is also on that list. Yeah, she's my racing car wife. But it's a great romp, and I recommend it because it's, like I said, fantastic ghost story. And just fun and kind of jump scary, so everyone can jump and laugh about who recommended what and who chose what decision and how the characters react to that. And it's in Canada, and there is snow, so Christmas.
When there's snow is Christmas. / Oh, I just said / Oh, man. Okay, that was bad.
That's Silent Night. That's what that is.
No. Fair.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, in that case, I think we need to air some grievances. I would like the airing of the grievances.
Airing of the grievances.
For the festivus for the rest of us.
The festivus poll is up.
All right.
We just directed it. You didn't hear that, but
There it is. That's it.
Yeah.
It's up.
So, I think the most pressing grievance among us is from Stephanie.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
This
okay.
has been a grievance of mine for many a years because I've done retail work. And as you know, many retail workers have to listen to the same holiday playlist from Black Friday until December 24th. And I worked at a place that shall not be named, but they sold candles and such, where they had a 50-minute playlist. And on that playlist were 3 versions of Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart.
3?
Which is 2 versions of that song too many. And there's many things wrong with that song. You started with it's a much longer song than you ever realize it is. So there's that, and there's 3 different versions of this song on this playlist. Also, too, you can't give away someone's heart. Unless we're talking about this is a necromancer Christmas. And you're a lich, and you're like, I've pulled out my heart. And they're like, it's cool, I guess, but I'm going to shove it in my zombie's chest. And thanks for the present, bro.
Oh, Liliana.
Yep, basically. So it's a Liliana Christmas song.
I'm just thinking Kalima.
Exactly.
Kalima.
And,
Kalima Christmas.
And there's just so many different versions of it. I think there's only like maybe 2 good versions of it. And I hate it. I want to get so angry, but I don't want to blow out the mic. So this is a very polite version of my I hate this song, I hate this song, I hate this song.
Hate it all the way.
Exactly, Amy. What's your grievance?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So there is, and I'm literally trying to look it up. So when the Candyman can, it is along that same lines. The store that I worked at, which is wonderful, it was beautiful. We had a playlist as well, but our playlist was basically 7 songs, and it was cycled, and there was Bing Crosby, Little Drummer Boy. Then there was a Dolly Parton Christmas song, and I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me because I have blocked it from my memory on purpose. I love Dolly Parton, you guys. I have no shame in being like, I can listen to that beautiful, beautiful tiny lady. There's, that great movie about that house in Texas. There's a man with a mustache that's in there too. Shoot. But this song set me on edge every time I heard it, and I'm supposed to be cheerful. I can hear the strains of it in my head, and I do not remember the name of it. I have literally shoved it away that no one might forever know, because if I start singing it, someone hit me. I mean, like, just body check me into the boards. Let's do this.
Okay, I'll throw punch you so you can stop.
I'm okay with that, because then I'll be like, oh, okay, we caught me. This is good. And I do have one more. So that
Go for it.
Go for it.
Go to town.
Let them go.
Let
Let it go, as Elsa says. Let the storm rage on.
The storm is raging on so bad. I have had enough of slutty Mrs. Claus, slutty Santa, to last a lifetime. If I see you in that outfit out in public, I'm looking at you, vinyl mean girls. I'll murder some folk. I will light on some straight up faux like garland around your skirt. You're gonna have to deal with that, because that no. I can't even see aggressive pointing at the microphone. No, Minnie, please help.
Thank you. Next. Okay. So my airing of the grievance, and I hate it. It's now kind of been a meme that's been going around Facebook. I've seen it too many times now. So, the song, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, is just a ridiculous, kooky song, which, fine, whatever. People try to make new songs year-round for Christmas. That's fine. My specific grievance isn't with this song, like y'all too. My specific grievance with this is that we are continually trying to make new holiday movies that are animated. And some hit really well, and some hit really badly. So when someone had an idea of, hey man, let's make an animated Christmas movie about Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, that sounds like a good idea. It's not. It's not a good idea. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer is the Rosart of animated Christmas movies.
That's fair.
It is not great. It has no coherent plot at all. So now that people are sharing things on Facebook of, I'm so excited that this girl's really going to get it, that Grandpa and this kiddo are going to solve things and have Grandma kick her butt. I don't care, because it's animated poorly, the character designs are awful, and that song makes no sense.
Why didn't anybody ever call the ambulance for Grandma? They're just sitting
No,
there
they just sat there and sang about Grandma, and Grandma's like, I'm fine. I still hear Grandma's voice sometimes, still telling people I'm dead. Yeah, it's awful.
But
I hate it.
Yeah, I never got the concept of how, okay, I've been around reindeer. Yes, they could trample you. But because maybe it was an errant reindeer walking, suddenly you believe in Santa? This makes no sense. Why did nobody call the ambulance? This woman could have lived. But now, as for me and Grandpa, we believe. We believe in what?
Grandpa believes that he's going to get that settlement. That's what Grandpa believes.
He's all about that life insurance money. We see you, Grandpa. We see you. We know what's going on. Oh, I didn't even... Also, our dashing producer Dan brought up the title of that song, and I started screaming it in my head because I was so angry. Hard Candy Christmas. No! I can't do this, you guys.
I think I have one more grievance, although I don't feel it's entirely... I think people don't do it as much anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But there was this country song called, I believe, The Christmas Shoes.
Oh,
that was made into two movies.
One on Hallmark, because of course.
And it's about this kid that instead of spending time with his dying mother, is begging people to buy her the shoes that she always wanted. And this guy, I guess, does so. And it makes Christmas happy. And it's like, no, it's so bad.
I'm dying. Buy me shoes. Thank you, Hannah Nicole Smith.
Oh dear.
That was in poor taste. I think
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I think we've officially decked the halls. I might need a hot toddy and some eggnog for this season.
Ugh, eggnogs.
Homemade eggnog's good.
Hot toddies are good.
That's
it's just a
true.
little bit rum. I mean, it's less eggnog. So, for this episode of the Dame Patrol, thank you for staying and decking the halls with us. I'm Amy. You can find me at IJNewRobot on the varying social media. And to my left, I'm going to swing it.
Oh man, I have been Erminia, but you guys can still call me Minnie, and you can find me at Dame Egg Sauce. That's Dame EG Sauce on that there Instagram.
And I'm Stephanie. You can find me at Dame of the Galaxy on Instagram. And if you've been following me there, I've been teasing some future content for our next episode, and that will be appearing on Capeless, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, and of course, thank you so much to our home away from home with the TC, well, home away from home, Uncle Ben, and his crazy Empire's Comics Vault located 1120 Fulton Avenue.
Sweet K.
Stop in for all of your holiday and non-holiday needs. And of course, a special thank you to our podcast brethren, the TCC Network, the Capeless Crusaders. We love you guys. And the fellas over at Crack in the Vault podcast, because we still appreciate you. So just remember, Geeks in Distress.
No need to light the signal.
We're always on patrol.
See you next episode.